Amazon CodeWhisperer is a new cool kit from AWS. Amazon CodeWhisperer is a powerful generative AI tool that gives you coding superpowers in a sense. What CodeWhisperer does is that whenever you are writing some code in your IDE, and in our case it is Cloud9 right now, as you can see on your screen, CodeWhisperer goes in and gives you some coding suggestions. In this video, I'm going to show you few examples which you can use with CodeWhisperer to generate and debug or maybe even create some dummy data in JavaScript. It's a crude session. I have tested it before, so because CodeWhisperer is a non-deterministic tool, so maybe the results which I'm seeing or you will see, or if you run it again, it might not be the same. So, but the general concept is the same, that to enable you to have some productive coding session with CodeWhisperer. If you want to, if you initialize or configure CodeWhisperer with Cloud9, or if you are having issues, then please watch my previous video where I have configured and resolved few issues of CodeWhisperer in Cloud9. Okay, let's begin with CodeWhisperer and how it works. The first thing you can do with CodeWhisperer is to just give it a line of code in JavaScript, press enter, and it should give you some coding suggestion. As you can see, it has given me the whole function. I just put it in the first line, and it has churned out the whole function for me. And make sure that you have named your file as .js extension so that it will recognize that it's a JavaScript code. Cool. Okay. Next, what you can do, you can simply give it an instruction to generate the code for you. So let me clear this one up. And here I'm just giving it a command, and CodeWhisperer has read it, and now it will generate the full function for me on the basis of what I asked from it. So this is a prime example of generative AI where this um, generative AI tool, which is working on some instruction induced LLM or large language model, has generated text for you just like human. Cool. Okay. Now maybe let's ask it to generate a full class for us. So let me say create a full class for me on the basis of, or maybe I'll just say this. And this command is called as prompt. The better your prompt will be, the better will be the output of CodeWhisperer. So CodeWhisperer is reading it, making sense out of it, and sometimes it just gets lost and hallucinate. In that case, you just have to wait or maybe give your prompt again. As you can see, CodeWhisperer is not doing anything, but it has come back at least at last. Press enter, and there you go. It has produced the whole class, which is called as folder. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, that's nice. Um, then what you can do, you can also try writing some, maybe I want CodeWhisperer to implement a unit test. So let me, maybe I'll try to write it out. Uh, Describe folder dot add child, and then I'm just giving it a declaration here. There you go. You see that as soon as I wrote it, it has completed for me, and it could be used as your unit test. This is pretty fine and nice. And then once you write few tests, then you will, the code whisperer is intelligent enough to give you more suggestions. You'll also notice that in this description, it includes I am testing, the condition I am testing. So this is also a well-known three-part pattern in the programming to ensure code whisperer has the context it needs. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the better your prompt will be, the better context you will give to CodeWhisperer, the better output will be. So instead of just writing this function, if you the class folder which we created earlier, if it would be up there, CodeWhisperer would be able to know, okay, this is part of that folder. Okay. One of the great thing about CodeWhisperer is that it can generate dummy data. For example, let me write this. So this is just a fake user, and then press enter here, and CodeWhisperer, you see that it has generated dummy data user 2, press enter again, and then user 3, and so on. So you can generate as many um, dummy data as possible. So it will go on and on. Okay, now let's try with some uh, plausible values instead of random values for our dummy data. So I'm just using the name Sally. Now, as you can see, CodeWhisperer has come up with the name Bob, then Joe, and then it goes on and on. Okay. Um, Maybe let's. Um, One of the limitation what I have found with CodeWhisperer is that it cannot translate natural language into custom regular expressions yet, of course, but it is quite good in the common regular expressions. So let me try to see if it could do this. Press enter. Not yet. Okay, as you can see, it was unable to generate me a regular expression here, but I have found out that if you keep training it and give it some of the context, then sometimes it's generated. So let me see if it works now. Not yet. Maybe I will try to see if I train it and then what it does. Okay, cool. Okay, now let me see if I just give it the comment instead of full, whether it has learned it or not. No, it hasn't. So you can see that CodeWhisperer is still nascent enough to understand the regular expressions, but I'm sure that AWS would be working on it and it will be here soon. Now, CodeWhisperer is also capable of generating doc strings and comments for the code it generates in JavaScript as well as for your existing code. For example, let's say I want CodeWhisperer to document the matches method of some TypeScript class. So let's see if it works in this case or not. So it has just put in some of the ending braces there, but um, it was unable to do for me the exact command. So what I need to do here, I need to do this. Let me actually, if I go here, sorry, let me first write it. That's it. Now, if I go here and say comment section, it knows I'm writing the command, press enter. It has already put in my star for me and then determines whether the asset matches the filter. Yeah. As you can see, it is also giving me some suggestions and what to do and what not to do. So I hope the techniques above inspire ideas for how CodeWhisperer can make you a more productive programmer. I would highly suggest that you configure this CodeWhisperer in Cloud9 or even install it in your favorite code editor and then try out these techniques. And remember that CodeWhisperer is still very new, so you might not get the expected response that you're hoping, but it is improving quite rapidly. And as you would train it more, as you would give it more better prompts, and also it would learn your coding technique, it will be able to, it is flexible enough to give you the responses which you require for your programming needs. If you have any feedback, please put it into the comment section. Thank you very much.